This is my first time using this, so I really hope it works. Just gonna wait a little bit, see if anybody's gonna jump on here. Hello, can anybody see me? Alright, so mainly why I'm doing this video is because I had to travel with all of my sugar gliders for the holidays. I'm in law school, so I don't get very many breaks, and so when I do get them, I really have to come see my parents. It's not the most ideal situation to have to travel with all of the gliders, but sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. So for me, I have 4 colonies. I have 3 pairs, and then I have 1 trio. And this trip was a 9-hour drive one way, and we were going to be up here at my parents' for about 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. So pretty good amount of time. And I was trying to figure out what I could do to reduce stress for them as much as possible, especially since I have 2 females that have joeys in pouch. They should be coming out in the next couple of weeks, so I really wanted to reduce as much stress for them as possible. So my process started about 2 weeks ago or so. The first thing I did was I got these pop-up dog kennels. I got them on Amazon. They were a really great deal. Whenever I got them, I think they were about $20 a piece. I checked earlier today, and they're up to like 35 or 40. So that's just something to just kind of watch the lightning deals and stuff like that. But they're the same material as like the pop-up tents that I have for tent time. And they've got, here, I'll open this up here. They have 2 sides that have this kind of mosquito netting mesh on them, and then 2 sides are just plain, I think it's like some kind of polyester blend type stuff. It's the same stuff that the tents are made out of. So I got these. I got one for each colony, and as you can see, they are really good size. Get my notes here. These are 36 inches tall, they're 21 and a half inches wide, and 21 and a half inches deep. So they're really good size. You just pop them open, and then they just unfold. So you just have just a little dog kennel. The top here is mesh, and it's got a zipper so you can zip it closed. So they're meant to be laid down on their side, you know, for the dogs, but I do them up and down. That way the gliders get the height, and they can climb and everything a lot easier. So I got these, and the first thing that I did is I just left them folded kind of like this, and I just set them inside of their cages. That way they could kind of sniff them out. They could start trying to get used to them. I have Congo cages, one for each of my colonies. Those are 52 inches tall, 32 inches wide, and 21 inches deep. So they're plenty big to fit these. I know a lot of people use the double critter nation cages, and if I remember right, Those are just a little bit shorter, but they're deeper, I think. So either way, whatever cage you have, these ought to fit in there just fine. So I just set these in there for about 2 or 3 nights and just let them, you know, kind of climb on it, get used to it, start scent marking on them. And then I actually opened them up and I actually put them inside of their Congo cages, opened up just like this. I have a picture that I can put in the comments after I get done, so I can kind of show you what that looks like. So, those went into the cage so that they could get used to them, start scent marking them. The next thing I did was build a PVC frame to go on the inside of these. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here's the bottom of the frame. I just used 1/2 inch Schedule 40 PVC. It's super cheap at Lowe's. It was $1.99 for 10 feet. Excuse me. And they have like what they call contractors bundles that you can get 10-foot lengths, and then they're even a little bit cheaper. I think they came out to like $1.79 for a length of 10 feet. So I got the 1/2 inch PVC. I got 4 of the T's for the top, 4 T's for the bottom, and then the elbows. So that's like the base. And you know, it's just PVC, so you just fit it right together. No big deal. I ended up getting a PVC cutter. That's something else that I'll post in the comments. It ran me about $20 at Lowe's, but for me, it was totally worth it because I am always cutting PVC, and they cut like butter. So they're awesome. You can also use, you know, regular hand saws or jigsaws, or even a Dremel that has like a grinding wheel on it to cut through it. I think the PVC cutters are awesome. So there's the base, and then I just have 3 regular legs, and I don't know exactly what the dimensions are on this. Mainly what I just did is I just stuck it in there and measured and cut it, and if it needed to be trimmed a little bit more, then I could do that. No big deal. So that's what 3 of the posts look like, just straight posts. And those fit down into the T's. Like that. And then for the back side, I really wanted to make sure that they had their wheels. That's obviously their favorite toy. They use it constantly. I have Raptor wheels, and they have a threaded fitting on the back here. So I got a threaded T, and then this is just 2 more lengths of the 1/2 inch PVC that, again, I cut to size. And so that fits down in on the last one. Pull this up so you can see. So that's what we have so far. And you can see there's like tons of space between the bottom. Mine love to get on the outside and ride around on the outside, and so I have to kind of watch the height and the space around it and above it and below it, because I don't want them to hurt themselves. So that's the base and the legs. And then for the top, I did the same thing as the base. It's just the regular square that I had put together, and I zip tied a glider kitchen into there. Yeah, not real pretty, but it works for what we need it to. So this just goes down over the top. Now you can get the little T fittings that are like 3-way so that they go on each corner and then they also go down. But I didn't want to do that for these. I wanted the posts to be in the middle so that I could mount their wheel easier. So that is what the frame looks like. And so this just fits down into this kennel. It's kind of a tight fit for the corners. There we go. Alright. Okay, so now we have our nice little frame inside of there. They've got their kitchen, they've got their wheel, and you can see there's a good amount of space between the top of the wheel and the bottom of the kitchen as well. So plenty of space for them there. So I got all this stuff built. I put these inside of their cages, completely opened up, and I left them there for about a week and a half. I just wanted them to, you know, get used to them, scent mark all over them, and not be freaked out by being inside of them. It's not something totally new and different. We're already in a new and different place here at my parents' house. So having this scent marked up and having them used to it, I think was really important. So, for transporting purposes, every colony got their own, I just used trash bags to put the different pieces of the frames in, and the wheels, and stack those in my trunk. I have a little tiny sports car, so it doesn't really have a very huge back seat or like a really huge trunk, so this was easy that I could break down. It easily fits back together. And using the trash bags made sure that it kept all of their scent in there, so that whenever I got everything out once we got here, and put them in there, you know, it still smelled like home for them. The other thing that I like about the frame is that it makes it really easy to hang other toys and pouches and stuff like that for them. I found these shower curtain rods, or shower curtain holders, I guess, rings, whatever. These are really, really thick resin. They're not like the cheapy plastic ones. These are a really thick resin, and they were a little bit more expensive, but I mean, they really snap together and hold really well, and they're really thick. So I feel okay about using these for hanging toys inside of these makeshift travel cages, I guess. So, you know, I just have a couple different little dangly toys. I, you know, try to pick what their favorite stuff is. And you can put those on there. And then the rings just go right over the PVC. Now, let's see how I can do this. Pull this up. So you can just hang them like that. Do the same thing with their pouches. I just put shower curtain rings on the C-links, and then use the shower curtain rod to, or the shower curtain ring to attach it to the PVC frame. For their water bottles, I had to get a little bit more creative. I like to use the water silos at home in the cages. They use the bottles just fine as well. I couldn't really figure out an easy way to hang the silos in here on this frame, so I ended up just bringing the regular water bottles and hang those. I got these are reusable zip ties. If you've never used these before, they are life-changing. They work just like a regular zip tie, but they have a little tab on them right there that you press down and it releases so you can open them up again. They're amazing. I love these things. So I'm using these to hang their water bottles. They have all different kinds of sizes. These are the only ones that I had available, so I got to put 2 of them together to make it big enough to go all the way around. Let's see. So for the water bottle, I'm sorry guys, I have limited space. Let me get it on here and then I'll show you. Basically, I'm just zip tying it all the way around the water bottle and the PVC frame. So, let me have you guys show you here. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, there we go. So you can see it's just kind of zip tied in there. And there's, you know, how I hung the toys. I like the reusable zip ties for the water bottles especially because I want to change those out and clean them every day. And this way, using these, I don't go through an entire package of zip ties. I can just reuse the same ones. So those are really great. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you guys. Oh, that's the other thing. They're cage covers. I usually wash cage covers like every other week, and this week should have been washing week, but I did not wash them before we left, so they're, you know, they smell like gliders, which is good because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted everything to be scent marked. I wanted everything to smell like home for them to reduce as much stress as possible. So this was another thing that went into its own separate bag for each colony. And I just draped these over the top of their kennels. And that way it just, you know, feels like home for them. I think really the most important thing that you can do if you're traveling with your gliders is just really know your gliders. With mine, my 2 pregnant females, they're very, very bonded with me, and they're both really laid back. So I figured if I could take a lot of precautions to make sure that I was reducing stress for them, that they would probably be okay. And honestly, everybody was kind of wondering what was going on for about 20 minutes whenever we started driving, and then they all just laid down in their pouches and went to sleep. We got here, I set these up for them. We did dinner at the regular time, and they don't act fazed by it at all. They've totally been, you know, the same activity level. They're playing really good. They're eating really good. They seem totally chill and fine. And I really think a lot of it has to do with the fact that all of this stuff smells like them. It smells like home. They had a lot of time to get used to them. This isn't something foreign to them. They've lived with this for 2 weeks in their regular cages before we came up here. So that really helped. As far as transporting the gliders themselves, I just use these little, I think they're hamster cages, actually. But I got these at PetSmart. They had them on sale. I think they were like $25 a piece. And I zip tied everything down just because I'm super paranoid. I didn't want anybody getting out in the car. That would not have been fun. So I use these to actually transport them in. I just lined my car in the back seat with fleece and just set these in there. And they were totally fine. So this is my trio that's in here that you can see. Did the same thing with the C-links. Just put them over a shower curtain ring. And then I can hang that on the PVC. And they'll be totally fine. They're at home. Let's see if they're all sleeping. So yeah, so like all of their toys that I brought for them, their pouches, the cage covers, the wheel, I didn't really clean anything before we came. The most that I did was just used a warm washcloth to get all the solid junk off and clean them up a little bit. But I didn't want to use any like, you know, vinegar or anything like that because I wanted everything to really smell like them. And it really seems to have helped. They seem totally at home. Keeping them happy makes me happy. So it was a little bit of a pain. It was definitely a process. To get these into the Congo cages, I did have to take the entire top panel off and then slide these down inside of there and then screw the top back on. And then the night before we left, I took them out and broke everything down and got everything bagged up and ready to go. So it was a little bit of a process, but I think it was totally worth it. I don't see any questions or anything from anybody. If you guys think of anything, or if you have any questions, you can either message me or tag me in a post on SLS or Suze's page, wherever, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can. I'm going to post the picture of what these looked like inside of their Congo cages so that you guys can see that. I'll try to post a couple pictures of what it looks like inside of here when I have all of their toys and everything hanging. They really have plenty of space. They can't climb on the two solid sides of this, but they can on the two mesh sides, and they can also grab on and climb up the PVC pipe. It's small enough, it's only 1/2 inch, so it's small enough that they're able to grab it and climb up those as well. So I'm just trying to think. Other things that you want to make sure that you have. Always make sure that you bring your emergency kits with you. I would say at least one. I brought 2. I have 4 colonies. I brought 2. If you have mamas that have babies in pouch, make sure that you have a Joey rejection kit with you. I made the mistake of bringing an extra regular emergency kit rather than a Joey rejection kit, and so Suze is a lifesaver, and she got one shipped out to me so that I'll have it just in case we have any issues. But make sure that you always have all of that kind of stuff. Always be prepared for the worst. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst for sure. If they're on TPG, make sure that you have plenty of vitamins. You know, if you're HPW, make sure you've got your Wambaroo powder. I'm way up here in the sticks, really small town. There's not even a Walmart here. So I really had to think about what would be available for me to be able to get here and what wouldn't. And so I ended up bringing a lot of extra stuff with me, like the mealworms and things like that. Yeah, other than that, I can't really think of anything else to talk about. So since I don't have any questions, I guess I will go for now. But like I said, I'm on Facebook a lot, so if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Look for the pictures that I'm going to post, and I'm also going to post links to like these kennels and stuff like that. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Love and face hugs to you all.